This is Whyte Noise. I'm Michael Judson Berry.
I'm Chelsea Jacobson.
And Ryan Wilder.
And I appreciate you bearing with me. I know there was a bit of a gap between the last episode and this one. I was home again taking care of my poor broken father who, I don't know if I mentioned this before, fell and broke his legs. He became the guy in the commercial that was like, I've fallen and I can't get up.
I feel so bad for him. He's such a nice person.
He's the best, and it's really sad. So my sister and I are taking turns being the home health aides.
Yeah, such a good son.
You say that until I invoice my parents. I'm a really wretched son, actually.
I thought you were already doing that.
Oh, I mean, that's true. At least now I'm doing something for it. No, they pay me with hugs and pizza and light beers.
But yes, this is Whyte Noise, and we're just three white people talking about nothing much, and it's Whyte Noise. And so what's going to happen is every time we have a different subject, if you're joining us for the first time, and each of these lovely gentlemen, Ryan and Michael, have 10 minutes to talk to me about that subject, and then I pick a winner.
And what do we get?
The Hymen Trophy.
You still haven't told me whose Hymen it is.
It's just based on Golden Age film star Irene Dunn.
I don't know who that is.
She hasn't worked since like 1944.
That's dumb.
So.
Okay, well, today's topic is checkers.
Checkers.
Who would like to start? Who's condemned to start?
Who is condemned to start? Ryan, why don't you go this time?
Oh, okay.
Well,
I just decided because I like your glasses.
Oh, thank you.
And that's literally how I chose.
They are cool. Ryan, 10 minutes on checkers starts now.
Okay, so checkers for me reminds me of a Finnish flag in racing. And racing makes me think of dirt track
really
racing.
Quick, sorry. When you said Finnish flag, I thought you meant like Finland.
Oh. You're like, that flag is not checkered.
It was like Finnish flag and then in racing. And I was like, oh, that changed very fast.
What's that song in Spamlot? What's like, Finland, Finland, Finland. That's a country for me. Anyway.
With a checkered flag.
Yes.
Finnish flag and racing. I was really pivoting like with every word you said. Okay. Finnish flag and racing. Got it.
I try to keep it interesting. So racing actually reminds me of dirt track racing, which then reminds me of my grandfather, who was a dirt track racer in the South, in Southwest Virginia through the 50s and very early, actually mostly through the 50s, because he quit in 1960, which I was going to talk about just a little bit. But like a little bit of background for everyone on dirt track racing, it does actually have an interrelationship to bootleggers. And it was because bootleggers had to get away from the cops with basically fast, reliable cars that were tuned to be able to evade the police. And obviously, as multiple people were doing this, they'd brag about their prowess in racing. So they had to actually get out on a track and race it out, right? And that's how we got to like elevated, let's call it dirt track racing. Dirt track racing actually existed well before bootleggers. First recorded dirt track race was in 1867 in Rhode Island. And oddly enough, I had to double check this like multiple times, was won by an EV. It was won by a car that operated from battery and motor. So I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, and would have never thought that dated back that far.
Yeah.
So for those who know me, like I'm a huge gearhead, and I get the whole gearhead thing from my grandfather and from my father. Grew up working on cars. Obviously, my grandfather loved it. He was a Chevy guy. So like every car he had to be some sort of GM product. And like, if you're familiar with this in the South, there's a big kind of rivalry between Ford and Chevy. And I guess Ram, Mopar is in there, but like, I kind of feel like my grandfather didn't even care about Dodge. Anyway.
Who does really?
Boy, get out of this. I love Dodge.
I love a Dodge.
I love a Dodge truck. I say that all the time.
Every day.
Where are your Dodge trucks?
What?
So The fun part about this is like I called up my mom to get a little bit of history and kind of talk about some of her experiences as a child doing this. But I wanted to do a bit of my own research. So I hopped on to newspaper.com, which is like an ancestry.com website where you can type in, different characters or words and like, I feel like I'm doing an advertisement, and then focus in on a region and target the metadata from the newspapers in that area.
Wow, that is cool though.
It is kind of cool. So I got to put on my grandfather's name, racing, etc., and basically got back a whole bunch of different stuff. The thing that struck me and still like makes me laugh like a little bit is that the paper at the time were so arbitrary. Like it was almost like they were begging to put anything in the paper. So I'm reading these papers that my grandfather's racing like stories were in, or, the results from the race were in. But I'm also finding there was a thing that talked about my grandfather and grandmother taking a trip to Florida to visit my great grandmother. That was a small snippet in the paper.
Oh, wow.
There's attending an FFA event, which is Future Farmers of America, which nobody in my family ever became a farmer, but I guess they kind of grew. Well, anyway, that's random thought there, intrusive thought, and about like their various in church involvement. So it was kind of funny. Like that's not what papers are about now, even like local papers. I think it'd be, I guess that's why we have Facebook, right? That's what Facebook is for. That's for the bullshit of your life. So everyone can read it who wants to.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Truly. No, you're right.
Or Twitter, or really any of them.
And how's my time?
Oh, that's
Am I doing all right?
You have 5 minutes. You're halfway through.
Oh,
exactly.
good. I have
You have so much time.
So much time.
Ample.
There was kind of like this like story about my grandfather, like why he quit. And I knew that he quit because one of his friends died on the racetrack. And the story that was told to me was that a car in the front of the race threw its transmission. So that's where the transmission would actually break off from the engine, roll underneath the car, dance across the track, and it went through the windshield and killed this guy. So that it was like, I wasn't sure if that was true because I had asked, and like I got from some family members like, yeah, that's what I heard. And then alternatively, no, that's not quite what happened. So got to found the whole story on this thing. And what happened, the guy's name was Junior Bowers. He was one of 4 guys that my grandfather regularly raced with, and they would all come in like 1, 2, 3, 4 on a regular basis, depending on like the track or the race or whatever, right? And Junior had actually been in an accident prior to this one, managed to get his car back together and in place to be able to race in this race. But at this one, same thing happened. So in the prior race with the wreck, he had tied wheels, like the 2 wheels of the car kind of like touched or interlocked, and it caused him to go into a wall. And that was the first wreck. And then the second wreck, the tires interlocked again. This time he took the car into the infield. I think it flipped, and he sustained head injuries that ultimately put him in a coma. And then like 7 days later, he died. Oddly enough, my grandfather went on to win that race, kind of unaware of what had obviously happened. But apparently the whole experience with it, losing his friend, he was in the funeral. Oh, yeah. 4 weddings and a funeral. That's where I went.
Depending on who you ask, they kind of feel the same.
That's kind of
that feels like one of those horrible like old school man jokes. Like, what's the difference between a wedding and a funeral? My wife, like something like that. Like, I don't know.
I like that joke.
Thank you. I don't even know if it made sense, but it feels like something like Bob Hope would have said. Anyway, sorry.
But what's it? I lost my train of thought. Look what happened.
So
I was laughing.
The guy died, and his won
friend
the race.
died. He won.
And he went to the funeral after the motor danced across and jumped through the windshield.
Yeah, and basically he was at the funeral and was involved in it, and looked over and saw this guy's 2 young daughters crying, and that was it. That was it for my grandfather. He was like, "I'm over. I'm out. Like, this isn't for me anymore. I can't pose this risk to my family and leave them." Actually, I read a bit more about what happened. Like the wife went into depression and then like I think killed herself a few years later. Oh, like a whole terrible thing of events there. But this gave me a great opportunity to kind of like check in with my mom on this whole thing. And like, she goes, I remember when it happened. I remember the race. We were there. But she also told me a little bit about like what it meant to the family and what it was like to be a part of this. And she told me that the money that my grandfather made, the extra money, was actually a big part of sustaining their family life. So there was a little bit of a reliance on my grandfather going out driving and winning. He was a master carpenter, tilesman, otherwise. She told me that no one was ever allowed to wear green. So green is a bad color in racing. Went and read on this whole thing, and apparently it was related to some high profile deaths that were where the color of the car was green. But there's no actual statistical anything to be associated
you are
with.
Just like superstitious, you are currently wearing green.
Does that mean I'm crashing? I'm crashing and burning?
Don't drive.
No!
Don't get behind the wheel. Don't get behind the wheel, Ryan.
Not tonight. Not tonight. Take off
green.
the vest. Now you guys care. I love it. Well, maybe. My grandfather, prior to this whole thing, never went to church, and this is apparently one of my grandmother's like biggest gripes, that Lewis won't go with me to church. And post this moment, like he started going to church, and I asked my mom, I was like,
guilty.
Yeah, or like, you know, or the kind of death, or the you know, interacting with death, you know, gave him a different sort of view on the world. I kind of asked though. I also was like, but Mom, like he used Sundays. I think Saturday was race day and Sunday was the day that you fixed the car and you got it back in good shape so that you'd be ready for Saturday. Because obviously you're working through the week, right? And I was like, well, yeah. Finish the
thought.
I just kind of said, like, do you think, was it really like that? Or did he just have the time to go? And my mom's like, I think it was, you know, a higher calling. And I'm like, all right, that's fair. That's fair. So, yeah.
Well, once again, don't drive in green. Don't green and drive.
No green and drive.
Okay, Michael, are you ready?
I mean, I think so.
Okay.
I'm going to need you guys to chime in a lot on this one.
That's great. 10 minutes on Checkers starts now.
Okay, great. Because Checkers made me think, well, we'll get there. I thought I was going to have, and that's my story. I thought there's going to be a lot behind this. And I'm realizing in this moment that I think I've about 97 seconds worth of things to talk about, but it's fine. If anyone can riff on nothing, it's me. No, so Checkers, now that I've spent 37 seconds pre-rambling, Checkers makes me think of the singer Chubby Checkers.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, yay! Okay,
let's do the twist.
Oh,
yes!
Okay.
Yes!
Come on,
and I
baby.
do know who that is.
Let's do the twist.
Thank you. I don't even have to play the song because Ryan's doing an impromptu cover, so I appreciate it. So yeah, it makes me think of Chubby Checker, who was actually born Ernest Evans. I mean, talk about
not
it.
Quite the same.
Not quite as catchy. Ernest Evans, although still like with the double letter.
Alliterative.
You know, Ernest Evans became Chubby Checker.
Yeah.
Not Checkers, just the one checker.
Okay.
He was born October 3rd, 1941 in Spring Gully,
it's just
South
his
Carolina.
Birthday.
Yeah, actually.
Happy birthday, Chubby Checker.
Happy birthday, Chubby Checker.
Or Ernest, what was his name? Ernest
Evans.
Ernest Evans.
And he's still alive. He's
so it was his birthday.
Yeah, so he's still going. I mean, according to Wikipedia, he is still active.
Wait, how old?
Wow.
83.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah, look at him go.
Humans live a long time.
And
honestly.
he's got a fabulous, head of hair. Like, he's hanging in. So he had a lot of songs, but his most popular song is The Twist, which I did not know is actually a cover. It came out in 1960. His cover came out in 1960, but The Twist, again, according to your Wikipedia, is an American pop song written and originally released in 1958 by Hank Ballard and the Midnighters as a B-side to their record Teardrops on Your Letter, which, you know, if that doesn't sound like a cheery one, I don't know what does.
Early emo.
Yeah, but right, could you imagine 1958 emo? But yeah, it peaked at number 16 in 1959, but then the Chubby Checkers cover in 1960 hit number 1, was just like a mega hit, and started the dance craze, the pony dance style. Yeah, which became this, you know, a big hit. Like everyone started doing like the pony dance, and then like the dance move, the twist.
Wait, the pony dance is what?
I think that's the one where it's like you sort of like hop from foot to foot, and your hands are like Alexis Rose hands out in front of you.
Like T-Rex hands, kind of?
Yeah, kind of like that. You do the twist like you're holding soft-boiled eggs.
I imagine everyone in an old school diner just like suddenly breaking out into that dance.
Yeah. And I like that it spawned the pony dance, but also obviously the twist. He tried to follow it up with another song called Let's Twist Again.
Like we did last summer.
Yeah,
Let's
you know
Twist
it?
again.
Like we did last year.
Last year. Yes.
Ooh.
There it is. So, so you know that one.
Round. Yeah.
Okay, guys, I just looked up the pony dance.
Uh-huh.
You're pretty close, Michael. It's like you do hop from side to side, it seems, but you throw your hands down, kind of. So you have your hands up, like if you're holding up to ice cream cones in front of you, and then as you hop, you like throw them down.
You whip them down. Like you're taking those ice cream cones from two kids who you hate.
Yeah.
Like you're the bully on
exactly.
You're like the bully at recess. And you're
And
like,
you're
give me
like,
those
they're
ice
trying to
cream
hit
cones.
you, so you're dodging.
These
You're
are
also
mine.
jumping from side to side at the same time.
Then you throw them down. Oh my God, that just made me think of who was it? Dane Cook. Remember the comedian Dane Cook? It was either Dane Cook or it was some comedian who was like, "You want to live forever? You want to be immortal? You know how you do that? You stay with like a child's memory, and then they pass you on forever, and then you're immortal. Like one way you could do it is when you see a little kid just smack an ice cream cone out of their hands, and that kid will always remember you as that like mean man who one day for no reason slapped the ice cream cone out of their hands. And if it was Dane Cook, it was funnier when he did it than how I just described it. But yeah, there you go.
Quickly, before we move off the pony dance.
What?
Wait. You go, Ryan. You go.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, now I know what I'm going to do after the podcast today. I'm going to go be immortal.
Torment children.
I'm going to go be immortal.
Come here, kiddo.
Whack.
God. Wait, but before
Sorry.
we move off the pony dance really fast, I also just had a revelation about the pony dance. It's called the pony dance because as you do this jumping from side to side, you kind of shuffle your feet and it looks like a trot. You're really kind of trotting from side to side.
Did you get to the part where it says you're also supposed to go, yeah?
Oh, but it's like I'm trying to describe it over audio. But yeah, you go from side to side and you kind of shuffle your feet so it looks like you're riding a horse a little bit, but your arms are going up and down.
Okay, like you're flinging ice cream cones.
Yes, like you're flinging ice cream cones down, like your arms are up in a Y shape, and they're going up and down as you jump from side to side, and it looks like you're trotting. Is that okay?
Yeah, it looks like fun. So yeah, that was so Chubby. So it makes me think of Chubby Checkers, who did the twist. He, obviously had a huge career. He's a big hit. The twist was like, he was on American Bandstand with Dick Clark, and it's one of the most iconic songs. I don't think he ever quite topped that one. He had other successes like the Hucklebuck, which was number 14 on the charts. The Fly, which was number 7. Dance Mess Around. Pony Time, did well. But obviously, like, the twist is his big one.
I was going to say that tape, I think it was a tape, was one of the first tapes that my parents ever gave to me to listen on my stereo. Like, I think it was one of the first pieces of like, and I think it was because it was like acceptable music, if you will. But yeah, it was, I used to listen to that like all the time. It's
a good one. And so the twist also then always makes me think of my mom. We've talked a lot about family on this episode. So my mom, like when we were young, we would put music on in the kitchen sometimes and dance. on those old, you remember those CD players? Like, I remember when we got it as a kid and it was so exciting. Like when you could put multiple CDs in.
Yes, and
like,
it spins out.
Yes, and
yes,
like
and
it spun when it came out, and you could put like up to 5 CDs in there.
Yeah.
And then when it closed,
huge.
they sort of spun back in.
They were magical.
Oh, blew my mind when those came out. So we had one of those with like a big stereo system in our kitchen. And now it's gone, sadly, because, CDs. So now it's where all of our grocery reusable bags go. But I mean, how times change. But we used to put on music and just sort of like dance around in the kitchen. And my mom's like one move was she would like, and to help imagine my mom, picture like Diane Keaton, but with kind of curlier hair.
That's
and
great.
Like in LL Bean instead
Love
of
it.
like, yeah, like now she's actually become more chic as she gotten older. But like when I was a kid, she was like an
She's a
LL
mom.
Bean gal, in corduroy pants and like an LL Bean vest, and so that's Liz, if you need a mental image. And she would like put the music on and like close her eyes. And just no matter what the song was, she would like do the twist. And it was the most adorable little mom twist where like her hands were up, like she had just had her nails done, and they're out and they're just sort of like bopping from side to side with little limp wrists. And she's just like, eyes are closed with a little smile and just sort of like loosely twisting from side to side to like no particular beat, no matter what the song was. But she loved the twist. Like that's how we would sort of start with that song and then sort of go from there. And like she loved Billy Joel and Bruce Springsteen, and to any of those people, she still just twisted away.
Oh my God.
I love it. I can
so,
totally imagine her doing it.
Yeah, if any of who's met my mom, like it's actually kind of the sweetest thing you'll ever see. And she would do it like that's her move. Like we'd be at, wedding receptions, wherever. And she's just, sometimes if she got really into it, her fists would sort of ball up. And
Oh my gosh, 20 seconds.
And
This
then
happened
that
so
would
quickly.
become the twist. It would be a really intense one. So that's where I was happy when you said checkers, because it made me think of the twist and brought me back to happy memories dancing with my mom in the kitchen when I was a kid.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
So anyway, and oh my
Five.
God, I can't believe I just took that whole 10 minutes. I fully thought this was going to
High
take me 7
five.
seconds. Because I was like, jumpy checkers, the twist, my mom dancing.
There you go. That's
and here we
time.
are. So
Oh,
thank you
man.
for looking up the pony dance and adding to the story. I appreciate
Of course. Now I know about obviously our dances, nobody does that anymore. Nobody would have the patience to learn the pony dance.
it. Yeah, like I guess we don't have that anymore. From American Bandstand and shows like that, like everyone would learn a dance, like the,
So fun.
the tapioca pudding or the whatever.
Right.
that all of a sudden everyone would know.
I just had imagine this moment like in 13 going on 30 where remember she breaks out the Michael Jackson
Thriller?
the Thriller dance.
Oh,
But I just
yeah.
imagine this moment where like the three of us are in a club and the right music comes on and suddenly we just start breaking into the pony dance, and before we know it, everyone behind us has started to fall into line and the whole room is moving together in the pony dance.
Oh my God, and
See-
it's a musical and my dreams have come true.
You break out to front.
Yeah.
What do you
No,
start
but it's
singing?
like now people are so stupid. I'm realizing that the songs they have to tell you what to do. Like old songs, it would just be the electric slide, but people
Tap
like,
3
knew-
times.
Yeah, now they're
Yeah.
like clap once and be like they have to give you instructions moment to moment.
Turn
People
to the
used to
left.
ballroom dance, and now it's like too hard for a crowd to be like slide to the left, crisscross.
I feel like the last one was the Macarena that we all just knew.
Yeah, but even what if the Macarena was like first hand, second hand, up and over your shoulders and on your head and on your waist? Like, it's insane. The
Yeah.
Macarena, yeah, you're right. That was the last one we could handle learning on our own.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think it's been a minute. Like, I don't think we had like a national dance craze to like WAP or something like that.
This is an
Is WAP
opportunity.
a dance?
I don't know. I just was thinking of a song. Could you imagine that choreography?
Yeah. That's,
I think our calling here is to come up with the next
something
dance.
else.
The next
Yeah.
dance. Because I feel like
think
there are
on
like
it.
TikTok dances are a thing. But
That's true.
But you don't
That's
do
No.
those
true.
like at a wedding reception. Like your parents don't know.
No, we're not doing the apple dance at the club.
No.
Really not.
At the club.
The club.
At the club.
At the club.
Oh my god. Okay.
Uh,
Michael, I'm so sorry, but I think Ryan takes this one again.
That's fair.
Really?
His research, yeah.
You
I
had real
enjoyed
stuff.
Chuffy Checker, but you had thorough research.
Yeah.
I figured
The
I
Finnish
thought for
flag.
Sure. I thought for sure I lost with the brain fart there in the center of it. I was like, oh, it's over.
No.
I barely went on.
No.
You
won the race.
You powered through, and that's a real winner.
I didn't have it. Almost didn't have it.
But
You
then
won the race.
you won the
I
race.
won.
That checkered flag flew,
I got to
despite
the
wearing
checkered flag.
green.
Oh, despite it. Look at that. I've broken the
Yeah,
curse.
careful.
You broke
Careful.
the curse.
I broke the curse.
Knock on
Oh my
wood.
god.
Yeah. Oh, and I die in a car accident next week.
Oh no.
no.
Don't say that.
Oh God! Now that I've said it, it'll never happen. That just makes
don't
it
say that.
statistically
Don't say
impossible.
that.
So
I hope so.
I hope so. Wear
That's
your
how life
seatbelt.
works. Yes.
Don't
And
wear green,
I've
but wear
driven
your
with
seatbelt.
you. Wear a seatbelt, please.
Yeah.
have you driven with James though? I can't wait for him to hear that.
For the record, you and James both drive like Batman when he like is in a hurry. Like Batman's
Like
running late.
when they have his girlfriend.
Yeah, they've got his girlfriend
Or his boyfriend.
or his boyfriend. I mean, Batman always did feel a little gay.
Yeah, Robin.
Yeah, they were up to something for sure. Okay, wait, so we should do feed into fuck. What did we literally
Razor.
just do? Razor.
Reza.
Okay. Great. Okay. Okay.
Like the scooter? Do you have a Razor scooter, Chelsea?
I did have a Razor scooter growing up.
Could you do tricks?
Fuck no. I could not do tricks.
Excuse me.
I could hit my own heels with it really hard all
I
the
think
time.
everyone could do that.
That's all I remember about
Yeah.
those Razor scooters is I would hit my own heels like daily and it
Oh.
hurt so much.
Yeah.
And I never learned.
I have mixed emotions about adult Razor scooters, but maybe that's for another time.
Oh man, as a kid I loved it. But yeah, another time. As a
Otro
middle schooler,
time.
they were very fun. Elementary schooler.
They were fun. They were speedy, and then you inevitably, hurt yourself.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and then it would just spin around on that. It inevitably
And nail
would-
your
Oh,
ankles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bruise you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Horrible.
hopefully our episode about razors will be less painful than an actual razor scooter.
We'll have to see
Who knows?
on the next episode of What?
What?
Wait.
Noise.